Hey, if you're anything like me or anything like the average golfer, then you just don't have a lot of time during the week to practice and hit a lot of golf balls. You know, real life gets in the way a lot. We don't get to the course, to the range as often as we'd like. So what I would propose is that in order to keep your consistency, that you really develop a wonderful tempo and rhythm to your swing. So let's cover a little bit about how tempo and rhythm are going to make you more consistent right after this. Hey, this is Steve with HitItLonger.com. I'm on a journey to hit it longer and straighter off the tee, be longer and straighter and more consistent, because I don't have a lot of time to practice and I still am greedy, and I want to hit it long and straight consistently without having to practice a lot. So, hey, if you're like me and you don't have a lot of time to practice, but you still want those extra yards off the tee, then by all means hit the subscribe button, like this video at the end if you liked it. Leave a comment down below. Okay, so most of us don't have hours and hours a day to really groove these mechanics that are being talked about in all these YouTube videos. You can maybe pick out one thing, two things, and attack them for the season. See if you can get any better at doing those one or two things. But in the meantime, you've got to keep your golf game together. And what I propose you do is develop a really consistent tempo so you can be consistent hitting the center of the face more often, controlling the face angle more often, even controlling your distance on the wedge shots, I think is easier when you develop a excellent tempo. Now, it was discovered a number of years ago that good tempo is like a waltz. It's on a 3-to-1 count. So this is something they discovered back in the camcorder days when every second of video had 30 frames. So what they did was they started counting, some smart guy, I don't know who was the first guy, but started counting the number of frames it took for a golfer to get to the top of the swing, and then how many frames it took to get down to impact. And what was amazing was that every good golfer that they looked at was precisely on a 3-to-1 ratio. It's almost uncanny. Now, so if you took 1 second to the top, for example, that would be 30 frames to the top. Therefore, you would want to have 10 frames back to the ball again. And as my teacher, Mike Austin, always used to say, it would be 1 second to finish the backswing and 1 second to finish the through swing. So you have a third of the second to impact, and then you have the other 2/3 of a second wrapping the club around your back to a good finish. Now, the most typical tempo on the PGA Tour is not 30-to-10. That's pretty slow for them. It's more like 24-to-8. So that would mean it'd be about, just a little over a second to complete a swing. 24 frames to the top of the swing and 8 frames back to the ball again. Still a 3-to-1 ratio. Now, with today's technology, I don't need to own a high-end piece of gear. I simply need to go to the App Store and go to the search and just type in the word Metronome. And there's a number of apps, they're even free. And you just download, and within 15-20 seconds, you have this really simple app. I've got one on the iPhone called Metro Timer. It's pretty good. I think I used to have one on my Android phone a while back that was a lot better than this, but this works well enough. And so I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to show you I'll turn this on at 180 beats per second. So again, that's like 3 beats per second. So it would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I can just hit play on this app at 180 beats per minute, like this, so you can hear it. You might not hear it when I set it on the ground, but I'll count it out for you. So it's like this. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Something like that. So that seems pretty brisk, but you'll see when you start swinging that that is actually not all that fast, as most golfers on the PGA Tour tend to be a little faster than 3 beats per second. They're still at a 3-to-1 tempo. So I'm going to give it a shot here. I'm going to follow the count, and I will count it out to you, and I'll try to stay in a really good tempo, 3-to-1 tempo. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, let's do one more. Just to stay in tempo, not my hardest swing. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now I actually like that tempo for me because it makes me slow down a little bit at the top. I think I tend to get a little bit rushy starting down, and maybe you do too. You find your personal beat on here. You could start with 180, but you might find that you swing a little bit faster or slower than this. But this will really make it where everything is coming down to the ball at the same time. Let's turn this off for now. Everything is coming down to the ball at the same time, and you might feel like you've got this little brief pause at the top while kind of everything gathers. And that's that zero gravity point. Imagine a bungee jumper coming to a stop right at the top of their rebound because they're at 0 G at that point. So then they start to slowly accelerate back down to earth again. Same with your club and your arm. Okay, so my favorite piece of equipment for working on tempo is this heavy orange ball. This is called the orange whip. It's got a real whippy shaft and a real heavy orange rubber ball down at the end of it. It really helps you feel swinging the weight of the club head and staying in rhythm. So I'm gonna try a couple with this on now. Turn that on, you can hear it. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Set it down here. It's almost like doing a dance step out on the dance floor doing the waltz. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, whether you're using an orange whip or whether you're using a weighted driver or your driver, anything like that, this is something you can work on every day. You can really get a sense of timing because your tempo is so good, and this is something that can really cover up for some of your swing flaws because it will allow you to have better timing. And you know, most of the time our bad swing flaws, our mechanical errors, usually get exacerbated, they get exaggerated when we also get a little quick or rushed, or our tempo just isn't even like this. I think this is what gives you your best chance of being consistent. So being consistently in the sweet spot, that gives you distance, that gives you spin off the irons, especially club face control. If you have a hard time going left and right, I think staying in tempo, it might not make you bulletproof, but it's certainly going to make you a little bit more consistent with your direction. So I'm going to go back and work on my tempo a little bit more, since these days I get a little rushy in my yearning for more power and distance. It makes me get a little bit fast. I need to remember that I need to harness that kind of power within the proper waltz 3-to-1 tempo. But hey, thanks for watching. Thanks to Golf Development Complex in Moorpark, California. And if I don't see you in the next video, I hope I see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Take good care.